Alright, ladies and gentlemen, up until now, you've seen only the glamorous, exciting lifestyle of the front loader, the unparalleled driving, the exotic places we go to. But believe it or not, there is a darker, more sinister side to driving a front loader. And that is the blade. Now, if you've paid attention to the previous videos, you see me packing the truck after I dump a can. During the course of the day, as I'm packing this blade right here, dust will come over the top and around the sides and will accumulate up here. This has to be cleaned every day. It has to be cleaned by us, the drivers. It has to be shoveled out, because if you allow it to accumulate, it will do damage to the important parts of the truck, namely these hydraulic hoses and also the bulkhead. Because if you continually push on garbage, it's going to damage the front of the truck, and you'll have things breaking like pins and cylinders, which can be very, very costly. As you can see, all of this stuff has to be shoveled out into a dumpster we have here at the yard, specific for this purpose. Every front load driver, no matter where they are or who they are, has to do this. It is an unpleasant task, but like any job, when you have an unpleasant task, you get used to it over time, just as we do. So you just have to get the majority of the garbage out of here. And you get all kinds of things that will gather up in here, such as this stand-up light. That truck you hear in the background is Richard King dumping containers in the yard here. Usually we have to do this once a day if you stay on top of it. If it gets really bad, or when it's raining, you'll have to get back here a couple of times a day. As I said, this is the not so glamorous part of this job, but we all have to do it. No front load driver is immune to this task. Now, if you'll notice, the engine is not running, and there's a good reason for that. Back in the old days, and I'm qualified to speak about the old days because I used to drive these trucks, you would have, this is the valve body. When you turn the PTO pump on, it pressurizes this. And what cylinder moves on the truck depends on what control I operate. sending pressurized fluid through this valve body. Now in the old days, the controls in the cab would be hardwired or connected to this valve body. Meaning there would be a cable that would come out the bottom of the cab all the way to the valve body. Now you could, even though it was unwise then, get behind the blade with the engine running. If it was hot, you could leave the truck running with the AC on, or if you're up north, you can leave the truck running with the heat on. These trucks are quite different. Everything in these trucks is electronic, and there are these, which is a proximity switch, all over this truck. This is one of the most important ones. When this door is open and there's no metal on this side of this switch, this will shut all of the electronics for the hydraulics off. Nothing can be operated. Now, that's to prevent people from doing something silly, but if you get behind this blade with the truck running and a prox switch should fail or a printed circuit board and the control should fail, you are not going to want to bet your life that you can make it out that door by the time that blade gets back to you. Because if that happens, if you miss the grab handle or you slip, that blade is going to trap you against this bulkhead. And once it gets to you, it's not going to stop, because that blade also is activated by prox switches. And those are up here. You can't see them too well, but there's a piece of metal on the rod end here of the hydraulic cylinder. And when it moves to a certain point, this is an auto pack, and what that means is I push a button in the cab, the blade will automatically go back to about the top door opening, and then it will come back automatically. And once that piece of metal hits the outside prox switch, it'll shut down. Now if you are back here with the engine running, and that blade starts to come back, and you don't make it out that door, that blade is going to literally squeeze the life out of you, because it's not going to stop until the truck runs out of fuel or someone shuts the truck off. Because it's not going to be able to stop, because this piece of metal up here is not going to come in contact with the prox switch, because you are in the way. That is why I don't care how hot it is outside or how cold it is, you do not enter that door with the engine running. Even if you're only going to be in here for 2 seconds. Well, I got a piece of wood over here. I just got to get in real quick and then get out. Okay, you get in real quick, something goes wrong, here comes a blade, you're in a hurry to get out, you don't make it out, and you're dead. Absolute paramount, when you're driving a front loader, when you're cleaning the blade, the engine is off and the key is out of the ignition. That way, you will always make it out of that door alive. That's all for now.